So today
we're reviewing
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
So, Raiders of the Lost Ark is obviously one of the most iconic movies ever to be created, and it's pretty obvious it's in one of our favorite movies. Some people may not like it, but what were your overall thoughts of Raiders of the Lost Ark?
I just think it's one of the most classic films ever made. There's just a lot of scenes. Just the opening alone is one of the best scenes in probably film history. There's a whole attraction based on this movie at Disney World as a show, reenacting some of the scenes. Not exactly the same thing from the movie, but obviously it's a big time movie, and it's led by one of the best actors of all time as well. I know it's a big statement, but I mean, Harrison Ford is a great actor. He's in a lot of good movies, especially his biggest roles. He's a great actor. Just has that charisma, kind of like I feel like Chris Pratt and him are definitely comparable there. But let me get back to the movie. The scenes are definitely good. There's a lot of good action, good setting. I love the storyline of him being like a raider type guy, basically. Like the Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like he goes in like different temples with like the different traps and stuff. Just really great setting, great film overall. And yeah, it's definitely a film that we've watched a lot growing up till now.
What are your overall thoughts?
No, Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark, which I believe it just goes by Raiders of the Lost Ark, being the first movie. It's the first of 4, but this one here was definitely an iconic, one of my favorite movies, if not my favorite, of all time in my life.
The Mummy's got to be above it then.
The Mummy is definitely right there with it, but Raiders of the Lost Ark honestly has a lot of things about it that I really enjoy. I think it's a great American adventure movie. His character is one that, he's an archaeologist. I think the movie came out in '81, but the movie's actually based on a time, I believe this is around 1936. It starts with one of the best openings to a movie that I've ever watched, as far as him exploring somewhere in South America. They're looking for an idol, gold-headed idol, and he goes through a lot of different things that are very dangerous to get there and get it out of this cave. And it's a great opening to what, like I said, I think is a great movie. About 2 hours long. Like I said, 1981 it came out, and Harrison Ford is one of my favorite actors of all time as well. So just a great movie, a lot of great memories from it. Seen it plenty of times, and each time I watch it, it's a great movie, and I love to keep seeing it over and over again.
Yeah, this is obviously a classic movie, and you have a lot of great characters. The main characters, you got Indy, who's obviously great with Harrison Ford. You've got Marion, who's the other main character in this movie, and that's really the main characters you follow. Obviously, there's the villains. The main 3, or that's actually the main 2 iconic villains.
The one main bad guy is Belloc.
Yeah, Belloc.
The guy, he's actually a part of the wrap-up of the opening scene. He's the guy that takes the idol from him, one of his antagonist characters.
Are they scaring away up there?
And anyway, you got Belloc. He is actually a French archaeologist, I believe, in the movie. And then you have the Nazi regime that is coming into its own. The Nazis were being formed in the early 30s, mid-30s. World War II then broke out toward the end of the 1930s, and Harrison Ford was helping battle not only a lot of different forces out there that were, something he had to battle, but he had to battle the entire Nazi, front there that was trying to also get the Ark. The Ark is, it's called the Ark of the Covenant, and there's just a lot of great history to that, and there was a lot of great power wrapped around it, and that's why the Nazis wanted it, to help, maybe dominate the world.
There's obviously a lot of iconic scenes throughout this movie. If we wanted to point out some of my favorite, one of my favorites is obviously the beginning scene's perfect, obviously, and then you've got the scene with Marion drinking, the drinking contest where the guy passes out, which is really funny.
Let's start it!
obviously a great scene. The shootout scene after that. I guess what's one of your favorite scenes other than the beginning?
Obviously the beginning. Obviously, I was just gonna just quickly say about the temple and stuff, and just like how detailed it was, like how the sunlight caused the spears to come out and it killed the one guy that kind of left him there to dry, and also just the stones you step on shot all the things, and then obviously the idol. But then going on in the movie, I feel like another great memorable scene in this movie, just part of the movie, is the snake pit that they go into. Yeah. That's always a part that I always remembered as a kid, and also just the chase scenes are always really good. Like there's that one, there's probably more than one, but the one driving scene where he's hanging onto a car, taking people out, and it's just that kind of a movie. Just really great scenes like that, and just really overall the journey aspect of the film is also just a great thing about it. They're going from one place to another. They have that red line. I feel like that's something that they do throughout all of the movies, right? They show where they're going on the map type thing, because he goes to meet up with the girl, and then they move on somewhere else, and it's just some great scenes back and forth there, and just a lot. I'd probably say the snake pit scene is probably the scene I would pick.
What's your favorite scene other than her? You want to point out a favorite scene?
The easy one is the opening scene. That's just one I love to watch that. Like I said, it grips you and brings you into the movie each and every time. I guess if I had to pick another one, I think it's just his harrowing escapes from all these different adventures that he has. I would say, going into the temple, like Jake said, to try to get the Ark out, and the Nazis take it from him. He's entrapped. He gets out of that. And one of my favorite lines is from the movie is he gets out of that mess there in that thing that he was encased in, and somebody says, hey, they're moving the Ark in a truck, and he just says, hey, what truck? Then he gets on a horse, and he goes after that, jumps on the truck, battles about 12 different Nazi soldiers on that, and almost gets run over, uses one of his weapons. He always had a side handgun. I believe it was a 6-shooter, and he had a whip, and those were some of his notorious things that he used to help himself get out of trouble, and just a lot of great adventurous scenes that were enjoyable. So I guess I will go with the opening scene, but those two following behind it. And the girl in the story that's his love connection there is Marion, and she definitely plays a great assistant role in this movie, and does a good job.
Obviously, the beginning scene is obviously perfectly executed, and it's kind of hard to say it's not my favorite scene, but my second would easily be the car chase scene where he goes under the car and the guy kicks him out, comes back in, and especially the way the truck hides in the little village after definitely makes that up there for one of my favorite scenes. Really like how it's all executed, for sure.
One thing I was going to mention that I don't think we've mentioned yet was the music is obviously classic in the film. The main theme for Indiana Jones is a song that we hear all the time. Even here where we're at on vacation right now, there's a golf course that plays it all the time. Definitely the music's great, and also the chase song or the chase scene soundtrack. The sound I'm thinking of right now, the music. Where I remember the one scene where they take the girl from him and they put him she was in a basket, and he comes out there they're trying to find her. And another great scene I remember was when they steal that truck and they park it in the middle of all those people. And there's another memorable scene there. But the music's great, and all-time classic theme for a movie.
I just wanted to add in too, as far as scenes. There's so many. This movie's a 2-hour movie, and it feels like it goes by like that, because it's one thing after another. It was one of the first adventure movies that came out, honestly, that I think opened the door for a lot of other movies, probably like The Mummy, things like that. But the one scene I can't forget that was kind of a neat scene that was a little bit funny is when he ran through the town trying to get Marion back out of a laundry basket thing there over in Egypt, and he ran across a huge Arab guy with a huge sword. He's throwing it around. Looks like it's something that Indiana Jones, after fighting off all these guys, won't be able to get through, and he just kind of pulls out his pistol and shoots the guy, and it was a little bit of humor from
classic
the
scene.
movie. Yes.
Yeah, I guess you just want to say one favorite line from the movie?
I guess the scene, the one line I'm really thinking right now is when what's his name? What's the one villain's name? The rich guy, Belloc. When Belloc says that we're comfortable up here, looking down at the snakes. I feel like that's the scene I remember a little bit, or a line I remember from the movie.
I think Indy asked him to come down.
That's the one. That back and forth.
What's one of your favorite lines?
This is definitely one I've thought about, and it's a good one. Besides the one I had mentioned before, as far as what truck. He's in the boat, after, this is probably 3/4 of the way through the movie, they're moving the Ark in a boat with some allies, and he's trying to just get some rest. I mean, you would think the guy, after everything he's been through, he's almost like a robot. He's beat to hell. And Marion's trying to help him out by putting some medicine on him, helping him get cleaned up, and he's just kind of whining about it the entire time. The guy just wants to take a nap. And she looks at Indiana Jones and talks about how he's aged. And he just kind of says, well, he goes, it's the miles. You know, it's not the age, but it's the miles that he's put on those years that he's been around. And he definitely went through a lot in this movie that beat him up a little bit.
Yeah, I guess one of my favorite quotes obviously has to be why it have to be snakes. Obviously he hates snakes, and you see that in the next movie, why. But you see the floor crawling and it's all snakes. I guess that's one of the most memorable lines for me, and probably one of the better lines in the movie. I guess.
And one final scene that we haven't mentioned yet was when they're at the bar and they see the metal on a fire, and the guy picks it up and just grabs it way too hard and yells. So this scene right here.
Yeah, he screams at the thing.
But yeah, no,
yeah, then obviously and then one more scene where they open up the Ark. He says Belloc says it's beautiful, and then they melt in the iconic way. That's just obviously amazing.
And then the great ending of it, just setting up, I think, how it sets up with the one Ark that they just found. There's 1 million in this whole warehouse. I'm sure
Area
of things
51.
that they found. Yeah, so there's a lot of great storylines there, and obviously there's just endless films that you can make, and I'm definitely excited to see what the next installment is of this franchise. But this was does anyone else want to say anything?
It's good.
Yeah, no, I think, Jake, before you wrap up, this is the first of what has been 4 movies. We'll maybe review the other ones along the line, but this is
Don't know if it'll be our favorite movies.
No, definitely. Raiders of the Lost Ark was the best of this set, in my opinion, for sure. I think the next one that would come into play would probably be the 3rd one, which is The Last Crusade. The Temple of Doom was okay. And then the last one, the Kingdom Skull, it was okay. I think The Last Crusade definitely is second, in my opinion, but Raiders of the Lost Ark, by far.
Oh my God, there's a bear right behind us. Where? Right behind us.
Yeah, it went back in the woods.
Oh my God.
It went back in the woods.
It's right there behind me. He just took off. Shoot. Is he on film?
Fuck, that's a big one.
Is he on film?
No, I don't think so. You scared him away.
No, I'm glad you warned us, but shit.
So this is going in the review, I guess. There's a bear right down by the creek there. I don't know if you saw him, but there's a bear now in the creek. I don't know if you saw that bear, but the bear is now in the creek. We are in the Great Smoky Mountains.
Thanks for watching our review of Indiana Jones or Raiders of the Lost Ark, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.